Holmes! Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone, then.
Press tab to open the casebook. Let's see. Profile of the victim, Peter Carey, known as Black Peter. Let's see, what is this? Woodman's Lee. Investigate the murder. Inspect the crime scene. Select a suit to wear using your personal wardrobe. All right.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Seriously?
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
Don't need to go there.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. This is where I keep my post.
Hmm. Alright, so we need to find a suitable... actually, I think he's fine. He's going to be out and about, probably in the countryside, so I don't want to dress up too much. A casual suit. Let's go with our farmer outfit. All right. So that's the default. Woodman's Lee.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
So there must be a stone pathway. Land around the stone pathway.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Okay.
Mr. Holmes?
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Let's see, let's go here.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock. I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Alright, so this way. Birdhouse. Oh, wait. Catholic Rosary.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind.
Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Not sure what that one thing was supposed to be there. So I guess we just kind of walk around looking for clues, huh?
Mr. Holmes? It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Is that supposed to be a lawnmower, or what is that? It's a lawnmower. Okay. Imagine having to mow your lawn with something like that.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Let's see. Oh. Oops.
These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool. What a terrible way to die. The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Let's see. Supposed to be something on the sign.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey. These abbreviations mean something, but what? This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body.
Judith Carey says her husband took care of the garden himself. It does not sound feasible. She might be hiding something. Several unsuccessful attempts were made to break in, according to the scratches around the lock. A notebook with the initials JHN. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we're still doing the knife thing. Okay.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting.
There's supposed to be something extra that we should be able to detect.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The ship's
Well, there just doesn't seem to be anything extra of any interest here.
the tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Suspiciously empty space.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps.
Okay, so the letter T is no longer there.
Someone drank from this glass recently. Someone drank from this. The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Okay. Ah, interesting. This is pretty fascinating. Gosh. Maybe it goes this way? Wow, this is actually kind of difficult. Trying to get all this to fit together. Oh, so we have to, smoking pipe? That's all the further we can go with it. Let's see. Well, how do we get... Oh. Does it come together like that? Okay.
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Okay.
Rum, a sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
Alright, let us boost the voices a bit. Ambient, let's take you down to maybe 70.
Someone drank from this glass recently. Rum, a sailor's drink. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Let's see, B. Carrie's body was impaled through the chest like a butterfly. Let's see, break-in attempts plus okay. An ambush must be made tonight to see if the break-in will be repeated.
Ha! Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
So, okay, let's see. I guess that's everything.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky,
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oh, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Alright guys, let me take a quick intermission. I'll be right back. Okay, so we need to... I guess we'll go talk to Mrs. Carey, or Ms. Carey, now that her husband is gone.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind. Thank you, madam.
Let me try that again.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Choose the evidence that confronts... I'll go with this one.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Don't worry, Mrs. Carey. Mr. Holmes will soon obtain the culprit.
Mr. Holmes? We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Shh! Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there! All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector, but please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Mr. Holmes?
These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. A handkerchief with the initials JHN. A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin. my friend. From R. Dawson. And partner, 1883. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
So I guess I leave the police station, or do I need to do anything more here?
Locked. Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Let's see.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner.
Alright. So... Shabby cap. Thin neck. Alright. That's not what I wanted.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go! I'm innocent!
Alright, let's see here. Hey, rubber duck guy, how you doing? Let's see. Nelligan is approximately 19. He was raised in wealth, but after the desertion of his father, fell into poverty.
Mr. Holmes?
So now we go back to my place to check the archives, I guess.
Mr. Holmes?
Alright, let's see. Pinned to the wall. Let's see, so that doesn't work. Nope. The break-in attempts were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying on the pool of the victim's blood. This proves the guilt of the person who made the attempts. Let's back it up. So yeah, we'll have to go look at the archives.
That is not the one I need.
Chemistry. A heavy gold ring.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I...
There doesn't seem to be anything that would be let's see. Good grief, I don't know. Wouldn't it be chemistry?
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need.
That wouldn't have anything to do with it.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need.
Oh, here we go.
That is not the one I need.
Oh, wait. So they worked together.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
Okay. Let's go back